Hey everyone, I'm so sorry about that. What is going on with technology today? There's some thumbs up already. Thank you for being patient with me, guys. It's been one of those days, and it's all your fault. I'm blaming you because you've changed the program time. And poor old Emily is having to wake up out of her bed really early in the morning, and it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon here in the UK. Emily, bless you. What time is it?
It's 8:15.
8:15. Andy, you're mean.
It's
Absolutely
11
mean.
here.
Otherwise, he would be here at midnight.
Exactly, and I was up at 5 this morning, so I'm doing well.
Crazy. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got this flashy banner thing going on behind me, everybody. But because what I wanted to bring you was an amazing intro again, but everybody's seen it on social media, and these are brand new intros into the show. And I've done the one today, and I'm so sorry, everybody. We lost the sound, and that's what the problem was. And then we had a problem on TikTok as well. So we are 16 minutes late. We do apologize. We're never late as musicians, are we?
Only before the gig, not during the song. Never late then.
No, never late during the song. No, we're late during the gig. What's been the latest that you've set up, you two? When you've gone and done a gig, what's been the latest when everything's just gone completely wrong? You've had one of those mad stage moments.
Oh, I was directing a show, a benefit, and it was just like you said, it was just everything going wrong. And I don't even remember how late we got started. It was probably close to half an hour.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I hate it. There's nothing worse.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
No, there's nothing you can do about it. But you just, I don't know about you, Andy. We'll have a look at one of your examples, maybe. But I get all flustered. I get really like, oh my God, this is not going to happen. And it's the most simplest thing, like a lead that I haven't plugged in, or it's plugged in the wrong way, or it's gone wrong. But it feels awful for everybody, especially when they're waiting for you.
Yeah, or a battery and a pedal or something, before everyone went to to plugs. But yeah, we missed I remember doing a festival and we missed there's Mr. Master and the De Gea, who mastered our record, but we missed Andy De Rosa. Even I don't know why I keep saying De Gea. Sorry, mate, wrong name. Andy De Rosa. Yeah, we missed the whole first set once about 20 years ago because of a battery and a pedal.
That's bad.
It wasn't mine.
A set's bad, and that's
always the batteries. It's always the batteries. We did a whole set one time without a battery and a pickup for a violin, just trying to play loud.
It happens for everybody. It's not just us independent artists, so it happens for everybody. Doesn't it? At the end of the day, it can happen to anyone, even the greats. I think I've seen a Rihanna concert once, and she completely lost her microphone, but the tech department hadn't picked up on it, and she went through nearly the whole song. The audience were singing it back to her, and she was like, I had no microphone whatsoever. And if it weren't for the audience singing and with her, as though no one was noticing, she said how they heard me, I don't know, because there was no microphone, no speakers, no nothing. But none of the audio team had actually picked up on it.
Yeah, really? Yeah, that's the beauty of everyone knowing your songs, though, isn't there?
Well, it is, yeah, definitely.
I mean,
anyway,
after this show, then we won't need to sing Legends again, because after this show, everyone will know the words to it. So.
That's very true. Well, I'll tell you what, you've just joined us, everybody, at One Life, where I am joined today by the amazing legends in the music industry, and that's how they're going to be known for the rest of the year because of this single that they've released together. The amazing legends, who is Andy and Emily. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate. It's good to be here.
Can we just talk about, because I love the fact that the song didn't start out being called Legends because of anything to do with us, but it's turned into that, and I'm not going to be mad at it.
No, I wouldn't be. Do you know what? I think it's really good. I think the fact that it's Legends, you two are known. I'm sorry. You two are known for the ISSA. You're known around the independent music scene. And you're legends in your own craft. Emily, we have your track coming up in the show later, but you are legends in your own craft. You are award winners. You are well recognized by the independent community who do produce quality music. And you both looked at as people who are really good at what you do, and you should be proud of yourself. You know, to actually have two people like yourself joining together and calling yourself legends. Do you know what? Actually, there should be a lot of collaborations like that, and we should have a Legends Volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, legends in the ISSA, isn't there?
Mate, that's very kind of you. Thank you. But Legends, it wasn't about, and this honestly, it wasn't about us. It was about the theme of the song and the words of the song. And when Emily mentioned, should we call it that? I was like, yeah, that works. But there was that little alternative. And Emily, I never told you this, but I did think, well, maybe they might think we are.
There's an alternative motive behind there, wasn't there?
Yeah, that's a brilliant title.
Definitely. Well, I'll tell you what, keep your comments coming in. It's lovely to introduce some of the people who have had knowledge of this amazing signal and also have been joined in with production. I know, Andy, you're a big part of the production of the single. We'll get onto the actual single a little bit further on into the show because we want to welcome everybody into the show. Now, I have just opened up the floodgates in relation to going live. So hello to Facebook viewers. How are we if you are on Facebook? If you are joining us on YouTube, hello. How's your day going? It's 1 o'clock here in the UK and it's nice and early and nice and late over in the US. In relation to TikTok, where are you all? Please don't let me spend another day tapping on the screen because I'm going to break my screen one of these days and I'm going to be thrown off the TikTok course because basically they can only see it as my heart's wit making a difference. I've just been graduated. You know, I'm now in the rookie class. Thank you very much. And I think that's only because they can see how many likes I've got. And what they don't know, and TikTok don't record this somewhere and cut me off the course, okay? What they don't know, it's my finger what's doing the likes. I'm pressing the screen. It's like me doing the likes. My diamonds and things like that from my other artists, okay, they're getting more diamonds than me because they're amazing. And I just want to personally thank all those who have joined me in the UK in TikTok and have coming on this journey of 6 months with me. And I'm hoping we make it successful. And I'm hoping we do what we set out to do right at the beginning is basically bring UK artists to the forefront of the music industry again and use this platform to enable everybody to see you and bring you over to the places you really want to go. Like Kelain James, who is a country singer, wants to go back to Nashville. He came from California, wants to go back to Nashville, and he wants to basically go and play in the Grand Ole Opry. If we can find people who see his music through the power of social media, through the power of pubs and clubs, we will get him over there eventually. And he is starting to get roots for himself, names for himself, and people are starting to notice him. So TikTok, you know, thank you for inviting us. You know, we are honored to be asked to be part of your amazing scheme that you're doing. And for other artists who are wanting to use this platform, please just go and have a look. It is starting to grow bigger. It is starting to see many people using it as the old-fashioned busking, you know, not having to sit outside. And I don't know what the weather's like for you two today, but there's no way I'm busking in the UK at the moment. It's freezing down near the sea. It's too cold for me. I'll tell you what, if I can busk in my living room with a few lights behind me and actually make a few quid the same as I would do busking, then yeah, TikTok all the way for me. And they do have lots of things going on throughout the year in terms of festivals, record labels, and lots of people from the PR production teams worldwide are now looking at these artists. And I was saying to Andy before you come on, Emily, is that there's at least 2 or 3 artists I know have already got record contracts just by being TikTok influencers. You know, so it's growing and it's growing. We need to come up to the fact that it's a new world we live in now in terms of musicians. You know, I don't know what's happening over your states, but what's happening for us in the UK is by the end of this year, beginning of next, we may lose 35% of our venues.
Wow.
You know, I don't know if it's shutting down that rate for you.
It is in Adelaide as well. They're, you know, more and more each week, unfortunately.
How about you, Emily? What's it like over in the US? Are they keeping open?
As far as I know, I haven't heard anything. That's
good. And I think you're very strong over in the US in terms of music community. You know, it's a big community over there for musicians. You know, if you ask most people around the world, where do you want to go to be a musician? Most people are going to say the US. You know, whether that's from Australia or from the UK, we've got people from all sides of the continent tonight. Well, it's this afternoon. You know, who are able to talk about the music industry and how it's going. But Andy, for you, you know, being an independent musician, where was the first dream of yours to go and play?
Oh, wow. What a question. Wembley.
Oh, I'm glad you've stayed in the UK. I'm glad you've stayed in the UK.
Yeah, absolutely. Wembley Stadium, man.
But then we knocked it down and it became the O2.
And they didn't keep the Twin Towers. But yeah, it was seeing Freddie do his bit at Live Aid.
That was amazing.
That was just like, okay, yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah, definitely. That's where One Life come from.
Yeah, right. And also countless gigs. I've seen countless gigs there at Wembley, in the old Wembley and the new Wembley. The
decline started in 2007 in the UK with the induction of the smoking ban. It was later than that. I think people were still smoking. Were people not smoking in 2007? Was it?
It's 2005.
Time flies.
I thought it was 2005.
Emily's like looking all confused about what UK politics. Basically, Emily, in around between 2005, 2007, us like people in the UK, everybody was allowed to smoke in the pub. You could take your cigarettes and have a smoke in the pub with your drink. The pub you couldn't see. You couldn't say hello to each other because it's just pure smoke. Nobody could say like hello to each other. It was just a big thick. And you used to go home and you used to have to change about 10 times because your clothes stank of cigarettes. So, but that's just what we done. It's just what we done, you know. And then we are showing our age, Eddie. But at the end of the day, the music scene was huge in that time because, you know, it brought everybody together. Those who wanted to smoke, those who wanted to drink, those who didn't want to drink. You know, there was no sort of like bans on anything really. And the music scene really flourished because at the end of the day, the prices also were quite cheap at the time. You know, you could go out for a drink and not be skint. You know, you could, you know, that's just by buying one drink. You know, we were saying before the show, you could go out and you could have a few drinks or have a good meal, you know, without being really, really skint. You go out now and you have one drink and a burger and it costs you 50 quid, you know. So the music scene has died along because it's got so expensive along the UK, but also because of the rules that keep changing, like, you know, every 10 years. That actually, you know, smoking has now been banned since 2005. They've just stopped vaping. They're talking about stopping smoking outside of like pubs and clubs and things like that. And sort of time zones on when you're allowed to play. You know, there's so many rules in the UK that it's getting harder and harder to be a musician. You know, it feels as though you don't want to, you can't be bothered because you don't know what the rules are going to be. You know, Emily, when you turn up to a venue in the US, do they have rules? You have to stop at a particular time or you can just play at any time?
I'm not sure I quite understand because like if you're playing at a venue, you're booked for a specific time and it just depends on when the venue.
So can you play late night? Can you go past 11 o'clock?
I don't know really. It sounds like what you're referring to is more like in cities where there would probably be noise control and things are very spread out. I'm in Florida and, you know, I mean, I don't live in a big city. I go to big cities sometimes, if you want to call them that. But, you know, they're even like if you talk about Orlando, like things are really spread out. And like I don't know what outside of my county what the rules are. You know, that would just be because that's what it sounds like. Things are a lot more like it's either a county thing or it's a individual thing, like the smoking thing, because there's still plenty of venues around here that allow smoking. There's cigar bars.
Oh wow, okay. God, you wouldn't get that in the UK. Cool. I tell you what, you'd have the army in. Yeah, you'd have the army in. It wouldn't just be the police. If anyone was caught smoking in our bars, that'd be it. They'd be like the army.
No. People can still smoke. It'll just be down to the venue if they allow smoking or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How about in Australia? What's going on in Australia?
Same as UK. You can go outside, but no, complete ban inside. And I believe stupid prices over here as well, a bit like UK to deter it. But going back to what you said, hi Alan, by the way. Alan, I met in Atlanta this year.
Cool. Hi Alan.
He's a druid. He lives just up from you, mate, in Stonehenge, just up from Stonehenge.
Oh, he's in Stonehenge. Oh, I love Stonehenge. Nothing better to say. Emily's like, again, sitting there going, what's Stonehenge? Yeah, Andy, do you want to explain Stonehenge, or do you want me to? You do know Stonehenge. That's all right.
Yeah, she does know that. But there's one thing with the UK music scene and how it was always 9 o'clock, the gig starts in a pub. The pub culture, that's one thing I miss when we moved to Australia, is different. The pub culture in England is like, or Britain, is nowhere like it around the world. So I've been to the States a couple of times, and it's really different. And
I was about to say, I even just trying to compare it, I'm not sure you can even compare like the music in that sense to places like the UK, because the pub scene isn't a thing over here. There's individual venues, whether it be a bar or it be a like a restaurant or something that you can play at, but the pub scene isn't really a thing over here.
Yeah, no, totally agree. She's right. And
and
like
this is actually my mom that just said this, and she's absolutely right. It's very difficult to get hired over here, even though there are places that have live, if you want to call live music. They want something just like one person with backing tracks, which is basically just karaoke, because it's so much cheaper than paying for a band. People don't want to have to put out the money to actually pay a band to come and play.
And also in the UK, I remember there's different licensing prices. So to have a karaoke or a singer to a backing track is X amount of money. To have a duo, say with an acoustic guitar and a backing track and a singer, is another X amount of money. To have a full band, is stupid amount of money. So there's that. So they're not being helped by the government as well. So we're going.
So that's like set for you guys. Like you can't just charge what you want. They tell you what you can make.
They literally, like for the UK, they do us in the UK. They tell us. So our sort of rates for a solo artist is really low at the moment. So a lot of places you would be paid about £150 as a singer, and you can be like a top end independent artist, and you're struggling to get between £150-200 as a singer. As a duo, it goes up a little bit, but very slightly. As a band, can go up to about £700, but the pricing around the UK, the breweries are basically running out of money themselves, so they're not able to pay the artists. And a lot of artists are actually arranging charity gigs because they just want to play. They want to showcase themselves, so they're arranging charity gigs, which is good for One Life because we've got plenty of charities that they can play for. But to actually be able to continue their career and produce singles and albums and things like that, they're not able to do it because the money's just not there. It's absolutely crazy.
That's interesting because at least here in Florida, you can charge whatever you want. Whether somebody's willing to pay it is another story, but you can
let's go to Florida,
whatever you want.
Yeah, let's talk about Florida, everybody.
Like I said, it's the same problem though about just not having the money. So you can, which keeps it sort of competitive, but at the same time, a lot of people lowball it just to get the gig, and then it sort of brings the rate down for everybody because they're going to go, well, if I can get this person for pennies, why would I, pay somebody else more?
Definitely.
So the question of quality and what you're getting for the money doesn't really come into it. It's just, well, that's what I can afford.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody, we've started off the show with just a natter. I was trying to say to Emily and explain about what One Life is, and it has become just basically sitting on a sofa for us all together, just having a natter. You know, these podcasts have become like this, and do you know what? I actually like it. You know, I was trying to say to Emily before the program what One Life's like, and it has become almost a talk show, because we're so comfortable with each other as artists. You know, we're all in the same industry, we're all sharing the same stories. But for you out there, you know, listening to our shows, I'm hoping it's giving you a good insight to what a life is like for us independent artists. And it isn't all roses when we're on stage and singing our favorite songs. We've got all these headaches before we even get to the stage, you know, because there is lots of headaches before we get to the stage and coming off the stage. So I'm hoping for you all out there, it's giving you some good insight. One thing what's given me some good insight today is, where's everybody in TikTok? I keep getting flashes of people saying that TikTok's gone absolutely crazy and no one seems to be getting in on TikTok. So if you are getting in on TikTok and it hasn't gone crazy and you are come to say hi, please help me with tapping this screen and putting those love hearts out. Okay, it's lovely to see those who have joined us and those who are joining us from other channels as well. Let's bring the show back to some normality. I don't know what normality is these days, but let's bring it back to some normality. We're going to be here all afternoon. I think Andy's well settled in to be here all afternoon anyway, ain't you,
yeah,
Andy?
I got my wine. I'm good, mate.
That's it. Emily's going to be busy and it's still early morning, but, you know, you're settled for the afternoon. I don't know about Emily. He was texting me before the show and he was just like, I hope you're ready for a good one. And I was like, I'm going to be here for the afternoon. Poor Emily. Bless. Right. Okay. So let's bring you all back to some normality and tell you what's been going on in One Life. 24 minutes in, we've normally got to the first song by then, but let's quickly do this. And then we were going to introduce this song of these two because it's absolutely brilliant. A legendary song, as we say. Anyway, what's been going on behind the scenes? We have obviously been doing our TikTok, and can I congratulate the 5 TikTokers now, including me, 6 TikTokers now, okay, because we've only been going 3 weeks, okay, in this new amazing agency of ours, okay. We have been graduated to rookie level. What that means, I do not know. TikTok, please help me. Just put it in the comments, okay? I don't know. I just got a certificate and I've been like marked up to rookie. Apparently, I've done all my coursework, and you as TikTokers have been absolutely amazing with your music, and you've been getting lots of diamonds and lots of gifts, and actually everybody's been enjoying your shows. So well done for all those who do pop on, and I have been seeing you through the week going on and meeting your friends, your family, and all those who have been supporting your music. And it's lovely to see the comments, and lovely to see your music is getting out there. Do want to say a special thank you to a friend of mine called John Hart, who's part of our academy, who's our neurodiverse coach. John, thank you for making me the most relaxed I've ever been in my life this week with your guitar therapy. I don't know if you two have ever had any guitar therapy, but for the first time, I downed my tools and I basically joined John's guitar therapy for one session live on TikTok, and I was the most relaxed I've ever been. I just shut my eyes and it was lush. Anybody had guitar therapy? You two?
Yeah, just when we heard the final cut of Legends.
You basically just like listen to it, like close your eyes, laid in the bath, and then just it relaxed you, did it?
Done. Yeah, there you are. No. Do you know what? Actually, no, there is one time where but it was bass guitar therapy. If you listen to Private Investigations by Dire Straits, and if you have a subwoofer, turn it up, turn the lights off, sit there in the dark, it goes through all the song and then it drops down, and all you hear is a little tinkle on the bass, and then it gets bigger with the kick, bigger, and all of a sudden it's
I like that.
Wow.
Emily, should we try that after the show, Emily? Should we find it? Sure. Are you up for it?
Sure.
Kelain James has joined us from the UK. Hi, Kelain. How are you, buddy? Kelain's one of my artists, absolutely amazing artist from the UK, and he's actually sponsoring these shows this month. He's our highlight artist because he won the prize draw and he put the Andy Men's Club forward as a charity. So Kelain's been joining us on the show. So hi, Kelain. I hope you're well.
Hi, Kelain.
In relation to sort of other things that have been going on, Not too bad. He's enjoying watching. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Kelain. Anyway, get back to the show, okay? In relation to One Life, I just want to also say thank you to our academy, and we've got a brand new academy lead. So Jesse McAllister, if you are listening to the show, and I'm sure you will be later because it's still quite early for you, we welcome you to the academy. And boy, have you got a job to take on. You have got an amazing team in that academy. For all those who want to know what the One Life Academy is all about, please go onto the website, go into the academy, and go and look at the amazing businesses that we've put together who are there to support you as independent artists. Okay, they've all got their own businesses. They charge whatever they charge, but they've come to the academy with the know that actually the music industry can do with a bolster of support from everybody. So they're all going to work hard together. So producers are going to work with songwriters, vocalists, and also those who are part of the PR world as well. You know, so all of them all in one tin together. And they're going to hit their heads together and come up with what's best for the music industry. So, yeah, Jesse, thank you for doing that, buddy. And I wish you luck for that little project that literally come out last night. He agreed to take over as development of that particular project. And with those 11 great businesses from around the world, they are from the US, from the UK, from Uganda. I'm just thinking where else. And we've also got one from Johannesburg as well. So in South Africa. So, yeah, all around the world, people are getting together and helping independent artists, but actually in one little box. So they're going to be helping each other. So I'm pleased about that. Well done, everybody. Really, really pleased with you. Anyway, let's get to the show. Let's get to legends, because that's what everybody's here for. Okay, so you two, how did you meet? That's the first question.
You started.
I posted in the ISA group on Facebook back in May, and just to see if anybody was interested in collaborating when we got to Atlanta in August for the awards show. And Andy reached out and said, he wanted to talk and see what this could look like. And so we emailed a couple times. We set up a video chat and just had a talk. I had sort of an idea of something, and he thought, let's just go all the way. Let's just, work on a song to maybe release. And I said, okay. I said, let's take it one step at a time and see, how it goes. And we'll keep it in the back of our head. If it turns out, like we want. I love collaborating with people. I love the creativity that happens with that. So I was like, end product, great. That would be so much fun. Maybe do something in Atlanta. And if it turns out, then even better. But at least let's just have some fun collaborating. So yeah, Andy reached out and said he was interested, and I'm really glad that he did.
That must have felt, Andy, come on, that must have felt amazing. Being from Adelaide and the ISSA group, there is, for anybody who don't know, and please, for those who haven't joined, please do join. It's an amazing independent artist group. But we're talking about sort of 25,000 artists from around the globe. When Emily reached out and put that post out, did you think there's going to be a chance that you were going to be able to do this amazing song with her?
No, not at all. And considering I only joined in January as well, so I was like, really hesitant. What's all this about? Blah blah blah. And I submitted the tracks and everyone was voting. So obviously, I heard I got through, and then Emily posted. So I thought, well, I'll answer. I don't know who anyone is, so yeah, I'll answer. And then I did my research after. I was like, oh, okay. How am I going to cope with that?
You didn't know what you got yourself into.
Yeah, it's just like, whoa, okay. But no, as Emily said, we got talking in emails, in FaceTimes, and all that sort of thing, and not just discuss the tune or what we wanted to write about, but we kind of slowly started to get to know each other a little bit as well. And we had this idea, and predominantly Emily had this whole bunch of lyrics, didn't you?
You it's two different songs. It was like parts of two different songs.
Yeah, and we just kind of, well, you talk through this bit because predominantly the lyrics are yours, but
yeah, well, I had some I've collaborated with a couple people before, and it's just sort of been, you both bring something to the table and you weed through it together and say, like, is there anything that sort of catches your interest or whatever. And at this point, like, I think this was the first time we actually talked after we had emailed a couple times. And so we were both like a bit cautious, just because the creative experience when you're working with somebody else it can be kind of tricky. It can be a sticky situation if you don't know how to do it, because you have to be completely honest with each other. It just doesn't work if you aren't able to just say, hey, I don't like that, let's try something else, and not get your feelings hurt about it. You have to be able to be very objective in that sense of, well, you're working with somebody else that has other ideas. So I think we were both a bit cautious in that first call, just trying to feel things out. And I had brought some lyrics. I have a document with just loads and loads of lyrics that I've written over the years, just to, like, I go back and look through sometimes. So I had like pulled some together, and I was like, hey, here's some ideas. Does anything strike your fancy? And he was like, well, I kind of like this and I kind of like that. And I had this idea about, maybe writing a song about this. And I said, okay. And so I don't know how this is going to work if we try and pull these two songs together, because it was like a verse of one and a chorus of another. And but it was his idea that he originally had before he even saw my lyrics. It ended up being the thread that pulled both of those together, because those two songs weren't anything alike. They were completely different in their structure. They were completely different in the story that they were telling. And he was like, I really like both of these, and this was my idea. And I went, that's the link between them. And so I just
and it basically made a legendary song, because that's what it's called, and that's what we're going to bring it. And what a lovely way. I'll tell you what, when's this being released? Is it released yet, or is it coming out for release?
October 16th is the release.
Wow, there you go, everybody. You have got an exclusive here on One Life for Sensational Sounds to hear this song before it's even released. So what I want you to do is, while you're listening to this song, if you can go to the social media pages and make sure that you pre-save ready for release day on Tuesday, because that will really, really help these two amazing artists. Okay, we're going to put Legends on. While I'm doing that, please start researching the Andy's Men's Club, because right after this we're going straight over to the Andy Men's Club. Okay, so get some research in while we enjoy this amazing legendary song. Enjoy, everybody.
Legend be told of a ship without sails, crossing an infinite sea, crossing the sea in search of one thing, a ship in search of the water.
Songs be sung of moonless nights, crossing mountains of gold. Wind-swept gold turns orange flames cold and hides my true love from me. And yet I go on, yet I go on. My song will be sung, my tale will be told. Have turned to myth, mine will go on, mine will go on, mine will go on and on. Tales be spun of a wingless bird, searching a bottomless sky,
searching the sky for one thing to find, a bird in need of a song. Riddles be read of sunless days, chasing a city of light.
Cities of light that fade in the night, reflect the heart of my love.
And yet I go
Can I say something different and open your mind? But what words are left?
Not told as of yet, and watching has never been
And yet I go on, yet I go on. My song will be sung, my tale will be told. When all the legends have turned to myth, mine will go on. Mine will go on. Mine will go on. Mine will go on and on.
Beautiful. What an amazing track. Your voices sound amazing together. They really do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you both really happy? Are you both happy with the outcome? You had big smiles during certain parts of the song. I could see you both like really concentrated on the song.
You
But
know,
there's
one of my
certain parts
favorite
of that song where you're really happy.
one of my favorite things about making music is, or in a sense like this of releasing stuff, is that as the artist, every time you listen back to that project, you're not just hearing music, you're reliving the experience of creating it. And that is especially so with this track. It makes me emotional listening to it because it's just
Oh.
all of those months of our creation and then being there together in Atlanta and everything. And it's just all compounded into that, whatever 5 minutes of that song.
Yeah,
I love that story.
absolutely. And you know, we towards the end, before it was mixed and everything like that, we thought, yeah, this, and we kept saying, yeah, loving the way this is going. And we'd chat about what we need to do with it, you know, little production bits here or there. Loving the way this is going. And like, we were like, okay, we're still loving the way this is going, but I'm not doing a lot with it. You know, it's little tweaks here or there, you know, final edits. And I'll give some credit to Andy who mastered it. He did a bit with the drums for us. So I thank him for that. And also we quickly go back before you move on. So we recorded the vocals together in Atlanta. We did them separately, but we felt there was both something missing, wasn't there? It just wasn't right. And
it was fine, but it wasn't what we wanted.
Correct. And
so was it? Hang on a minute. Let's go back. You're both in Atlanta and you're both at the ISSA Awards. Okay, where'd you find time to go into a recording studio? Did you just like literally just hire one out on the way, or how did you find the time?
We did it in the hotel room. We set up everything in the hotel room, turned off the air conditioner because it was quite loud, and
hence why it's red, constantly red on those promo reels you're seeing.
It was hot.
Red
and he wasn't used to the heat.
Yeah, but we did it there. I took my gear with me as well, and Emily had all her gear with her, and we did the vocals there together in a figure of 8 config on the microphone. So we're kind of looking at each other when we're singing, and here we go. And we did it, and we had an issue there then trying to mix it down, the vocals only in the EQ side of it, where Andy applied a bit of his magic. So
and
yeah,
he said, thank my drama compressor. It did the work. I hustled and dialed in the ratio, attack and release.
it sounds like a karate tournament.
Yeah, it does sound like
the producers.
There's a bit Cobra Kai going on here. I think he's been watching too much Cobra Kai. Andy, seriously, mate, you're not
Music
crying,
production
kid.
has its own language.
Exactly.
I was getting tongue-tied just reading it out, Andy. You know, you got a clue what you was doing.
Well, he is Italian, isn't he? So, you know, can't hold back against him. But no, you did a great job with separating those vocals off the figure of 8. But the initial essence, going back to what we wanted, that was the second take, wasn't it? We sang what you're hearing on that record.
It may have
second
been.
or third take.
We didn't do much. I think it was the second, because I think we rehearsed it and then we,
it was. So it came and it just happened. And usually when things like that happen, you know when there's something good. And so once we got that done, and Andy stopped looking for his reading glasses, we into final mix just before we sent it to him to master. We were like, it was such minor edits we were making, and it was there, wasn't it, from the off, apart from the minor bits. So so proud of this song. And to echo what Emily said as well, the process of getting to know her, working with her, and that day in there's a couple of days in Atlanta as well, through to where we are now. You know, we're probably talking to each other more now than we were when we were doing
writing it. Yeah,
Emily's like, he's never off the phone. You can see that. You can see that. A nervous laughter there, Emily.
Neither one of us.
Andy's phoning you.
I think a lot of people think, creating the track is the most time consuming. It's the most difficult part, and it's not. It's once the track is finished and you're releasing it, that's when all the work starts.
That's the hard part.
And she's a diamond with this. I must hold my hand up, because this is where Emily's done predominantly most of the work with this, because the things you're seeing on socials, the reels and all that, she's done all that. She had her sister and her friend filming us when we were recording this in Atlanta. And then she spent hours editing and all that, and then putting all these reels together. So I can't thank her enough for that. But it's just,
well, Emily, if your sister needs a job, there's plenty of artists out there who need help with like promo reels. I think that's the biggest comment I get when people are looking for help with their music, is doing promo reels and videos and things like that.
No, I feel very fortunate, because she only does it for me because I ask her to.
She only does it for you. She won't do it for anyone else. Yeah, I'll tell you what, anyone does anything for a bit of money, I'll tell you. If you throw money that way, I'll tell you. Anyway, everybody, we are 46 minutes in, and we have not got onto our charity. I've got a special little treat for you today, actually. I have found on the Andy Men's Club a track that was done by a rock group to raise money for the Andy Men's Club. Now, those who don't know about the Andy Men's Club, please go down onto the website, have a quick look at it now and during this song, okay? Because this is a great charity which supports men's mental health. We are in Mental Health Awareness Month. Please, 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 I say this every time we have this program, if you are suffering from any of the conditions which are mentioned on One Life, please just pick up the phone to the support groups which are connected to the charities themselves, or your friends and family. But you're always going to be supported by us at One Life. There's always going to be someone around for you, okay? Because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, and that's what we want to do. We want to support you, okay? So enjoy the track. I don't often get to do this because it's great when I find charities who have actually got a track on their YouTube where it has been donated by an amazing group, an amazing set of artists, okay? Because this is what we do at One Life for the whole of the time we've been together. So hopefully you can see the connections between the artists and also the charities that we work for. Enjoy the track. While I'm doing that, those who are on TikTok, can you please keep tapping that screen? Please keep bringing me those lovely, amazing gifts. And also try and find the people who are in the cupboard, because I think they're all hiding, because I keep getting notifications from TikTok to say, and this isn't just me, these are creators, are quite big creators as well. What's going on with TikTok this afternoon? We all seem to be literally in our own little cupboards and there's no one coming through the doors. Don't know. Come on, TikTok, get on with it. Okay, we all want to be seen. Okay, come and say hi to us and come and listen to this amazing song which has come from the Annie Men's Club. Okay, enjoy, everyone.
Really good song.
Let's bring everyone back. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely amazing band. Please, Kelain, please go and do some research on that band and let's bring them to the show because what an amazing song that was. Loved it.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love the messages behind it as well. It's so powerful how a song can be used to give a story about, supporting such a significant thing in relation to mental health and men's suicide, and they've done a brilliant job of it. Really have. Well done, guys. Yeah. So for yourselves, have you, I'm going to come to Emily first. Emily, you must have done a lot of charity gigs throughout your music career. But has there been any of them which have really touched your heart and you've really felt like, do you know what, I'm really glad I done that because it's really helped a lot of people?
Probably the biggest thing for gosh, I guess it was about, it's been about 20 years now. My sister and I have been playing at nursing homes and assisted living facilities, playing music for the residents at that. So, and we weren't able to do much of it during COVID, but we're back to doing it now. So it's been so very rewarding being able to bring music to people who, can't otherwise get out and hear it.
I love that. And there's so many artists doing that. And, there's so many artists keep telling me, I'm bored because there's nothing to do this weekend. My gig's been cancelled. Just go and take your instruments to an older person's home or an adult with learning disabilities home. That you will get so much joy from doing it. Emily, it's such a lovely thing that you've done, and for you as an artist, it's lovely, isn't it? You don't think about money. The smiles on their faces and the joy they get from seeing you play.
Yeah. Oh, it's most definitely when I started learning music at 6 is when we started playing in these places. And so a lot of the residents for, several years, they watched us grow up. They watched us improve on our instruments as we continue taking lessons. And, now most of them have passed and there's new residents that we play for. But they became our friends and so quickly. And we were able to share more than just the music. And it was a huge part of my life.
Brilliant. And they become your fans at the end of the day. Yes. People always say, where do fans come from?
They aren't always on social media.
Old, they're still there. They're always on social media.
One mosh pit you do not want to get in the middle of.
Yeah. Not ones with the canes and walkers.
It's very, very, very true. Andy, how about yourself? Has there been any particular that you've really felt this went so well? I'm so glad I turned up for it.
We did a few big ones, 2008, 2007, 2009. You may have heard of him in the UK. His name's Daz. He does a lot for charity, and he put on these big gigs at the Bristol Colston Hall. So big venue, big stage, 1,800 people. So we played there and, obviously all for free for charity and everything, and done really well. Really loved that. But I think the main one, and on a selfish point of view, is my first ever solo gig. And I love being in a band because you had your mates, you fall back on your mates, and you have that support. And still learning as a musician. So my confidence wasn't really there on my own. And I thought, yeah, okay, I'll do this solo gig. I'll do it for charity as well. My first ever solo gig, I'll do it all for charity. So I did it for the St. Peter's Hospice and down the local pub. And I started to get so nervous, which usually nerves are good, but this was so bad. And the first set, I purposely put in songs I knew from the back of my head. Sounded awful. And I got to the second set, which is songs I've never played for. I mean, put it this way, I opened with A Day in the Life by the Beatles, the second set, right? And just on an acoustic guitar. And I thought, what am I doing? And somehow instinctively, maybe John had a mindset moment with me and I pulled it together and that went down well. I had a round of applause. Then I did well. And at the end of it, so my point being was a rep from the St. Peter's Hospice came up to me. Thank you so much for that. We thought the whole gig, but the first set especially was really, really good. And I'm just like, but she loved it. And, as they do, they're very thankful for your support. But I used to put a festival on in that pub every year as well. Just get music festival in, get bands in. And if you could do a little goes a long way, and
it really does, and I thank all of you as artists for all the work that you do, because I do watch what goes on in one life with ISSA. I have the pleasure, because of being a PR manager as well, to scout every day about what people are up to, and the amount of times that I have joy in my heart to see that the next release from someone is going to a really fantastic recognized charity out there, and helping more people. I think since COVID, I think there's been a huge rise in the music industry, both from independent and also mainstream charts, to support, you know, local and national charities around the world. And, you know, I want to thank artists for continuing to do that, because I know that that really does help everybody, you know, and I think as artists, we enjoy it as well. Excuse me. So let's get on with the show. We are 58 minutes in, and what are we going to do next? I know what we're going to do next. I'm going to find out if there's been some particular highlight moments for you two. And where do you start? You haven't got another hour on the show, okay? Because you've had a lot over this year. We're now in October. Emily, what's been your favorite moments this year?
This year? Oh, it would have to be working with Andy. Absolutely.
Oh, look at that. Even better than ISSA. There you go.
You know, the awards are great, but like you said at the start of the show, you know, ISA is about so much more than just, you know, getting that crystal. It's truly the community and the people that you meet. And I think this collaboration with Andy has just really been the pinnacle of that. It really showcases what ISA is about.
I love that. I love that. There you go, Andy. That must be a pretty red-faced moment there. She's had all of those great tracks that she's brought out, all of those awards this year that she's been to, okay? And she's chosen you as her favourite moment of the year. That must feel good.
Of course.
Of course, you know, yeah, of course. Such confidence there from Andy, you know, of course. Meeting me is going to be the best part of our year.
Hey, look, the more you get to know me, I'm a sarky so.
I know.
I echo Emily there completely. Yes, the whole trip, and I'm still probably coming down, but you know, the whole trip, it was amazing to win something. The meeting of everyone is so, and I'll quote Andrew Moore here, everyone is stupidly nice. And they are, and you know, I'm still talking to people now in all this sort of thing. But the highlight of this year, yeah, absolutely, is this project, but not just doing this song with Emily, but to getting to know her, and we've become friends, really good friends, and that's been the highlight.
Brilliant. I love that. So, you know, we've got the 3 months that everybody dreads as musicians, okay? Those 3 months where we're all sick in our hearts because we're going to have to leave our families for the rest of our lives, because that's what it feels like. We've got Christmas coming up, okay? We've got this back end of that year where it's going to be so busy. What's on the plans between now, release day, and coming up to the end of the year? You booked in your New Year's gig yet?
No, I don't play on New Year's.
Oh, well done, Emily. Andy?
That's family time.
No.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Two artists are finally not worried about it. I'm not doing it this year.
You know, if the right gig came along, I might be tempted, but that's usually family time.
Yeah, it's usually about 42 degrees here on New Year's Eve, and that just
42.
Yeah, usually 42 to 45.
Vanessa, pack your bag. We're going to Australia for Christmas, okay? Because it's 42 to 45 over there, okay? We've got snow coming of 4 inches, okay?
Yeah,
so he's going to get a barbie on, okay?
Yeah.
He's going to get a barbecue, yeah?
Seafood.
A braai, Vanessa calls it. She's South African. She calls it braai, okay? But we'll have a barbecue over there. But South Africa's the same, though, Andy, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know, they have their world upside down over there. You know, they have summer in December. Whereas the UK has winter in December.
Yeah, well, you two are aligned, aren't you? You're a couple of months behind, but you're both Northern Hemisphere, so because we're down under. So, but yeah, no, it's weird to get used to. But yeah, New Year's Eve usually consists of at the beach and then watch the sunset come down.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You know what? It does. Watch the sunset when the beach come down New Year's Eve. That must be amazing. Mind you saying that? We've got it better than if you've got it. We've got fireworks in the UK, okay, and you can't have fireworks in Australia, but when it's light still, okay, and it's the sun, so we can put our fireworks up. But I know, like every year, you beat us anyway, because by the time I've woken up in the morning, you've done your fireworks, you've had your drinks, you've done your Barbie, and that's it. You're doing it again.
Yeah, we're putting the fires out. I was just about to say this as well, and then my phone buzzed, right? Like, she won't believe me. So New Year's Eve is my wedding anniversary as well. And then my phone buzzed, and my wife saying, "Oh, it's our wedding anniversary as well, man." Yeah,
just to remind you,
I can't get anywhere, can I?
You can't, though, not even really on a podcast. It's online now. Look, there's a third person just come up. So really? She's online now, Andy. Okay, she's watching you. I don't know if that's really her because it doesn't give me any names, but there's someone just popped in, so she's keeping an eye on you.
Or it might be my mum and dad. My dad just said, "Oh yeah, we're watching." We'll put a comment in there. Is that all we got? Only 3 people. Where are they all?
Well, no. They've been popping in and out. They're all over the place at the moment. I can't keep up with it, to be honest. When I've got 3 screens, it's just like everybody pops up everywhere. And unless I'm like doing this constantly throughout the interview, which isn't going to look good for anybody, I'm not going to be able to keep track of it all. But people are joining in. They are putting thumbs up. We are getting lots of love. And this episode doesn't just stop here. You will also be able to see it after the live when we finish, you'll be able to see the recorded program, okay? But what we're going to do now is Andy, lovely Andy, decided, you know what? I'm not going to be selfish. On that second track, because he knows Adrian likes the second track, I'm going to actually give it over to Emily. So, Emily, a beautiful solo of yours that we are going to play next before we go into our quiz and we get our quiz heads on, okay? So, Emily, I think it's lost its title, which really isn't helpful. So I'm going to quickly go to the rename. Maybe is your track, and I hope the pop bit is just it's a pop out. It's a pop single, is it?
Yeah.
Or is it maybe pop? Which one is it?
No, it's a pop single.
It's a great song.
Emily, tell us about this track, how you've written it, and what it's about.
Oh, I wrote this song. Gosh, I guess it's been close to 4 years now. And it just sort of was a culmination of some thoughts that I was having back in 2021, I think it was, or 2020. I have some health issues that affected my voice, and I went from being a soprano to being a mezzo soprano, which I don't know if anybody is familiar with the way the voice works, but that was a major shift in my voice, and it happened in the span of about 3 days, and it was rather shocking, and just so many changes that went along with it, changes that were happening in my life, and maybe it was just sort of the culmination of me saying, maybe things that I have thought and planned, if they don't come true, does that mean that, you haven't succeeded in that? Or maybe things just aren't what they always seem. And there was a film that I love called I'll Be Seeing You. It's an old film, came out in the 40s. And in it, one of the characters said something to the effect that, we all have our dreams, these castles in the air, and we think, oh, that would be so nice. And we know that that's not always a reality. We aren't always going to be able to achieve that. So we think we have to settle. But what if what we think we're settling for isn't second best? It's actually first best. And so maybe it just kind of came from that idea that, like the song says, maybe dreams aren't always what they seem. So but yeah, that song went on to it won an ISA award in 2022 for music video of the year, and it won lyrics first prize for lyrics from the Beyond Faith Film Festival, and it's one of my favorite tracks that I've ever made. It means so much to me.
Fantastic. Let's play this great song. I'm really looking forward to listening to it like you guys out there. Okay, so what I want you to do, everybody, is all head over to TikTok because we are coming up with the last section of the program, which is Vanessa's favorite. She always joins in, which is the amazing quiz show coming up right after this.
Find my way. How do I face this fear of living in the future, of letting go of dreams? Maybe somewhere there's a life for me to lead. Maybe I can find another song to sing.
they do. Maybe dreams aren't always what they seem. So I'll say a prayer, look to the northern star. If I just believe I can get that far, I'll never look behind me. I'm letting go of the past. Maybe somewhere there's a life for me to lead. Maybe I can find another song to sing. Maybe dreams don't come true. Maybe sometimes they do. Maybe dreams aren't always what they seem. When we look at the sun, do we really see the sun? When we look at our dreams, what do we see? Are dreams only dreams? Are they real or make-believe? Are dreams only real in our dreams? Maybe somewhere there's a life for me to lead. Maybe I can find another song to sing. Maybe dreams don't come true. Maybe sometimes they do. Just not how we dream they do. Maybe dreams don't come true. Maybe sometimes they do. Just not how we dream they do.
Amazing.
I'm speechless. Wow. Where did that voice come from? OMG. I don't know about you, Andy. It's one of those film moments. If you are watching a film like The Greatest Showman, when she has that particular opera moment where like the whole silence in the like auditorium, and then the film just basically just goes into a eruption of like, you know, clapping. Emily, there's not many singers who can get away with those sort of vocals without a pin dropping in the room. That was amazing performance.
Well,
it really
thank you.
was.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely amazing. It really was. You know, I've got comments coming in from the audience. Amy, your mom, bravo, Emily. She's really proud of you, and I think she should be very, very proud of you. You know, to be able to vocalize, you know, that's got to come with a lot of training. You don't just literally pick that up from 6 years old. You're going to have had a lot of training for that, to be able to get that beautiful voice, to be able to. Andy, I don't know about you. That's never going to happen to me. I'm never going to get to those notes.
Yeah, never say never. You should have heard me when I was 6 years old. You should have heard me because I didn't actually start training until I was 16. And so that was about 10 years ago. And on vocals, yeah, I started learning to play guitar when I was 6, learned a bunch of instruments, but I didn't start singing until I was about 16. Well, I started singing when I was about 14, but I didn't start training until I was about 16. But my voice was something before then.
That's just amazing. You know, I had this discussion with a friend of mine the other day. I know. I had this discussion with my partner, Paul, yesterday, and he was just saying, you know, you can't teach everybody to sing. And I'm just thinking, do you know what? There's a lot of singers who are coming out of the closet and saying, do you know what? You should hear me before I actually, you know, did become a singer, or I did start having practice, I was never always just good. One of them I watched on the Jonathan Ross show, which was Ed Sheeran. And he really surprised me because I'd not dreamed that Ed Sheeran would never be able to pick up a guitar and always be the singer that he is, and he was saying to Jonathan Ross, I couldn't sing for nothing when I was a kid, and this was me practicing in my bedroom, and he actually got a recorded version of him singing. And Jonathan Ross was like, actually, that's quite bad. That's definitely not good. No, this is me.
Videos, and I go back and watch them, and I went, wow, I can't. Wow, how did why did I ever think that I should pursue that? But, I did. I had a passion for it. But I think, to an extent there, you sort of have to have a bit of potential, I suppose. There are some people who, they don't have what it takes. Some people can't hear tones and notes and things. But I think, too, a lot of why people may struggle to sing until they get training is because of the music scene of mainstream music these days. A lot of people try and replicate it, but you have to know something about the voice to replicate it. It's not the most natural way of singing. And so until you sort of learn the natural way of singing first, you can't always replicate some of the way the big pop singers sing just without the training. So you might think if you try and do that without training that you just can't sing, but sometimes you just got to go back to basics and, work on that first.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Andy. I still haven't got up to Freddie Mercury's level or Michael Jackson's level. I think I'm 49 now. I think I'm going to give up trying to get to those notes and being Freddie. I have found my own voice and my own style, and I think that's important for all singers, But that's what we've covered in the academy. You have now in the academy got two amazing vocal teachers. You've got two amazing performers. And, it just goes to show having good vocal coaches, having, those support lessons, those voices can be found. I'm going to be listening to that song throughout the week, Emily. Thank you for bringing that, Andy. That's absolutely brilliant. Right, I have kept you to over the show limit, which is normally an hour, so we're going to have to rush through the next section, but it is our quiz section, so please get your pens and papers ready because we are taking the website address of the Andy Men's Club. We are looking it up while we are playing this great game because we want you to share before we finish, okay? So let's bring the quiz wheel on. I've added a couple of sections, Vanessa, from the last time you was with us, because you've been busy. Okay, so you might be surprised what we get. Okay, these two haven't seen this lovely wheel of ours. Okay, so this lovely wheel of ours has been put together by our guests who have been on the show. It's getting longer and longer in terms of the sections. We've got anything.
I want to add then 20s music. That's what we've done for Emily.
You want to put what on there?
20s music.
20s music.
Yeah.
2020 music.
No,
1920s.
1920s.
Yeah.
God, that'd be really.
Throw some spanners in there.
Do whoever gets that one on the show, I'm going to actually tell them who put it on there. Emily, do you want to add one? Should we add one on there, Emily, while you're on here? Just to do a quiz. Are you going to be awful like Andy?
I'm trying to see what you already have. I don't want to duplicate anything.
We've got Frozen. We've got rock music, rock and roll, radio, country, film, TV, folk, jazz, blues. Guess the language, accent challenge, pub quiz, 70s, 60s, sport, and food and drink.
That's quite the list there. I don't know what I can add.
It is. But if there's anything you can add, let's put it in.
I can't think of anything at the moment. That's not there.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. No, that's absolutely fine. We'll keep it as it is, but it's nice, Andy, that you've added to our amazing list. And thank you to all the guests who have added to this amazing wheel. But what are we going to get today? Please be something good. Not 1920s.
No, please be 1920s.
Oh. Guess the language. This is one of yours, Vanessa. We've had this one for a while. Okay, so this one is basically either audio clips or language clips of a quiz. Okay, I've got to find it. While I'm trying to find this, because it is a hard quiz to find, and I'll be back with you, everybody, very shortly. Can I get Andy and Emily to tell you all a little bit about what else is coming on for the rest of the year, where you can find their amazing music, okay, and also anything else what they'd like to mention before we end today's show. So should we start off with Emily? Go for it, and then we go on to Andy.
Until the rest of the year, let's see. Legends comes out October 16th, and I have a project that I'm working on that might be coming before Christmas. I can't share too much about that yet, but just stay tuned because I hope to be able to have some exciting news soon. And then just some gigs. I have a wonderful Christmas show that I'm doing in December, and some other things that I'm working on to get ready for in the new year, including the possibility of an album that I'm going to be recording. So just lots of exciting stuff to get ready before the start of 2026. Yeah. And you can find me anywhere. You can search Emily E. Finke. You got to have the E in the middle, though. It's very important.
Big capital E, everybody. Go on then, Andy.
Okay, yeah. So if you hadn't have heard before, Legends is out on the 16th of October.
Really? I don't think we mentioned that.
No, this Thursday. On all good streaming platforms or all not very good streaming platforms, but it's there on all. I am recording and writing my new EP. I think it's going to be an EP because I don't have time for it to be an album. So 3 or 4 track EP, which will hopefully be done by the end of the year, early January. I have a few other things in the pipeline with other ISSA members as well. Maybe there's so much I can't really say at the moment. But also a few other little projects out of music as well with other ISSA members. And looking forward long term is possibly I want to actually write my rock opera, which I've been threatening to do for 15 years.
Rock opera, I like that.
I've got the idea. I've got 4 songs. I need another 16, but I've got the idea for each song, and I just need to turn into Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I really like that as a project. I'll tell you what, anybody, Andy, do you want some help? So we get the viewers to come and help you. Anybody from ISSA or anybody from the music industry, let's have a think about that. Rock opera would be great. Yeah. I'd love to see that.
So if you go on my best of album, there's a track on there. Yeah. There's 2 tracks on there called, the album's called The Journeyman, and that's the last song on the album. So that's what the theme is. And there's another track on there called The Cunning Linguist. So the whole thing of the story in the rock opera is about a Wordsworth who battles with stage fright, travels the world, gets heckled, struggles with, developing his talent, falls in love, loses the girl he loves, and then finally dragging himself back out of the gutter to become the champion. And it's all around being this cunning linguist. And I wrote that song, which was inspired when I visited Shakespeare's Globe in London.
That's amazing. That sounds so cool.
Let's keep this to one side. Let's part this because this is going to be a big, big moment. I've got 3 theatres here in Torbay. Okay, we are bringing it. We are sorting that out. Okay, me and you after the show. Let's get this rock opera going because I think it would be absolutely amazing. Anyway, let's get back to
Emily.
The quiz,
everybody. Emily could be the narrator. I think.
Emily being a narrator, right? Okay, right. Let's get the quiz, okay, and then we'll talk about the rock opera off the show. We're all going to be here all day, okay? All right, let's go for the quiziness. Let's do it. Okay, can you 2 hear the audio?
Yes.
Brilliant, excellent. Makes it easier for us. Vanessa can't hear it today because it's not a worded quiz. So unless she's at my ear listening, it looks as though it's the 3 of us, not the 4 of us.
Welcome to a new video. Tell us in the comments how many you got right. Let's go!
El principal ingrediente activo del café es la cafeína, considerada la droga psicoactiva más consumida del planeta.
Okay, does anybody know what that language is? Is it Portuguese, Spanish, or Italian?
I think that's Portuguese.
I was going to say, I think it's Portuguese as well. I don't think it's Spanish.
No.
Okay, Portuguese. As you two have said, both said Portuguese, I'm going to go with you, and I just hope you're right.
Principal ingrediente activo del
It's
café es la
Spanish.
cafeína.
I knew it was
부산
Spanish.
사투리를 배우고 싶습니다.
Oh,
뭔가 찰지고 재미있는 것 같아요. 그리고 여성분들의 부산 사투리가 되게 귀여워요.
They all sound the same.
They all do sound the same, but is it Korean, Japanese, or Mandarin?
Go on, you stab at this one, AJ.
I'm going to stab at this one, okay? I'm going to go Mandarin. What do you reckon, you two?
Oh, I was going to say Korean.
I was thinking Japanese.
We're all going for like, it's one of us has got to be right.
저는 부산 사투리를
Oh,
배우고 있습니다.
okay, Andy.
뭔가 찰지.
À cause justement de notre dépression que l'on a vue tout à l'heure, et c'est lui qui sera responsable de la montée des températures. Alors pas forcément.
That's Italian.
That's French.
I was going to say French.
You think it's Italian?
You think it's Italian?
I thought it's too fast for French.
Okay, let's see what it is.
En revanche, en toute fin d'après-midi, les orages vont commencer à tomber.
Và với lại cái cảnh ngày hôm nay nó trở thành một cái con đường phố rất là đẹp, rất là thoáng và nói chung là cho mọi người có cơ hội để.
I think Thai.
It's not Hindi.
No.
You think it's Hindi?
No, I think it's Vietnamese.
I think it's Thai.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to go for Hindi or Thai. I don't know. Look, we're all getting confused here.
Và với lại cái cảnh ngày hôm nay nó trở thành một cái con.
This is the language of Beowulf. It probably doesn't look very familiar,
Oh,
but
gosh.
it might be more recognizable.
Now
We
that
should
one's
get
really
that, shouldn't
hard.
we?
Yeah.
You know, I really think that is Gaelic.
I mean, who knows? It might be Norwegian. You just.
I'll go
It's gotta
English.
be
then.
English. Yeah, I think we'll go English on that one.
This is the language of Beowulf. It probably
So dengan melihat diorang happy, apa yang saya boleh buat dekat diorang, mungkin itu adalah, bukan mungkin, itu sememangnya adalah satu kebahagiaan untuk.
What is Tagalog? I've never even heard of that.
I actually don't know. Actually, Vanessa, do you know what Tagalog is? This you can help us. Do you know what Tagalog? You go around the world to all these countries. You don't know what that accent was.
Is Malay the language of Malaysia?
Yeah.
Is the Malaysia language of Malaysia? Is the Malaysia language of Malaysia? No idea. You're not helping us very much. Go back to reading the phone.
Let's
see what it is.
So dengan melihat diorang happy, apa yang saya boleh buat dekat dia.
Ik doe dat in Overvecht op dit moment. En wij bieden zeg maar ouderen die zich een beetje alleen voelen.
Oh, I know this one. It's only because I've got a South African in the family.
German.
Oh, that has to be.
You reckon it's German?
I reckon that's
I was going to say
German.
Dutch.
Really?
Because everyone goes, it's only like, isn't it? When you
I mean,
speak Dutch to me,
they're similar languages.
it's very close though. Okay. So it could be Dutch or it could be German.
Ik doe dat in
It's
Overvecht
Dutch.
op dit moment.
That's what I did.
You have similar
Hindi siya
words.
maipapasa. Kasi karamihan ng mga tao ngayon, lalo na sa ating kamera, is talaga...
That Tagalog is back. And Tamil.
I
don't even know what Hungarian
one. Yeah, is that the third one? Star Wars language, isn't it? After the main character.
That could be, yeah.
Para sa akin, hindi siya maipapasa. Kasi...
Diciamo che questo paese sta tendendo un po' a perdere la...
Check.
Go for it.
I have no
Check.
idea.
Do you reckon? No, I don't know.
Check.
Diciamo
It is Italian.
Checkmate. Tawadiko.
Checkmate.
Hata ndio nataka kwenda nayo sahi. Juu sui ni surprise. Nataka kuipeleka kama surprise.
See, I think that would be. This is tough. But I would think Somali or Zulu.
Hang on. If before you play that, if it was Zulu, it will be there saying thousands of them. Emily, you probably won't get that in the
No,
film.
I don't.
Zulu.
no, Emily definitely won't get that. But you're like
Michael Caine is there. Look, Zulus, thousands of them.
thousands of them. There's loads of them. Anyway, we've literally, Vanessa, thank you for adding this quiz, because every time I've had this 2 times in 2 years. Okay, that's how often it comes around. But thank you for adding, because it always throws my guess completely. And if I was asking for money for the charity, we would always win in terms of the charity, because they're always the most complicated questions.
I have to say, this is quite difficult, because some of these different languages have different dialects and different things. So it might not be what you're thinking it's going to sound like.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask my audience who rewind today's show, please tell me if you got any of those right, because we were all confused. We may have got 1 or 2. But if you put it in the comments for me, please. And please, can you also go to Legend Single when it comes out on Tuesday, go onto AI and transfer it into, what was that language? Taguli or whatever it was. It'd be hilarious to listen. It'd be hilarious to listen to your song in that language. It'd be like, it'd be just completely Star Wars language, Legends in Star Wars.
The next project.
Anyway, listen, I would love to stay with you two for the whole of the day. I've had so much fun, but unfortunately, time has run out, and we're going to have to go and say goodbye to our viewers. But before I say goodbye to our viewers, can you two say anything special that you'd like to say to those amazing people who have supported you in your music? Emily, let's go to you. Who would you like to say thank you to?
Well, thank you for having me today. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really grateful to be here. I got to say thanks to Andy for agreeing to doing this. It was great. And obviously, my family, we're just at the ISA Awards again. Everybody gets a minute-long speech to thank who they want, right? But no, seriously, my family's been so supportive, and even with like this and getting to Atlanta to do it, it's not a small sacrifice, and I'm really grateful for all they do. And so, yeah, thank you.
Andy?
Yeah, no, again, thank you to Emily for doing this song. 100%. It's one hell of an experience, and something really do hope everyone enjoys, because we're really proud of it. And yeah, thank you to everyone who's supporting behind the scenes. If there's a vote needed, they're doing it. If there's a like and a share, keep doing that. It's really, really appreciated. More you can know. So yeah, thank you to everyone, and keep doing what you're doing.
Brilliant. Okay, before I go, I'm going to say thank you to the likes of Facebook, YouTube, but I ain't saying thank you to TikTok. I'm actually going to go over to the live station tonight on Backstage and say, oi, you're going to be paying for my finger ache. I have literally been on this screen, and there's something going on with TikTok world. So if you are listening to me, I'm coming for you on Backstage. But we are going to be coming back live with you next week on One Life is Sensational Sounds. It is Friday. Please, for those who are going out and gigging this weekend at Sensational Sounds, have an absolutely amazing time. Those who are relaxing this weekend, put your feet up, because I'm sure next week is going to be another very busy week, especially for us here at One Life, and I expect for you too also. Have a good weekend. We will see you very soon. Take good care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.